So this is our BR1 rifle that was basically brought to market because we wanted something that was using the same kind of quality components but held a little bit more of a value price point. So we designed and re-engineered the Recon rifle and came up with our BR1, basically BR standing for basic rifle. It initially only came out in the black anodized, so you can see kind of here we had the black anodized solution. So this was our black anodized, and that was originally the only flavor that it came in. You basically had one, there's no options on the rifle, whereas the Recon has like 13 different colors and different options, forward assist or slick side, so forth and so on. The BR1 only comes as you see it. The only option now is you can get it in both the black anodized as well as the Cerakote FDE color that you see here before you. So really just an overall phenomenal rifle that we put together, again, using most of the components of the Recon, but just trying to bring that price point down a little bit. So I'll go through some of the differences between the Recon and the BR1 here in this video and show you kind of what makes those differences and what makes that price difference, and kind of the things that we did to kind of help bring more of a value to the rifle. So one of the things just to start off with, though, it is the exact same. Our heavy-duty upper and lower receivers are used on this, so you have the same thing. Again, the only difference is here you cannot get it in slick side. It only comes with the forward assist option. It has the same handguard solution. So from here, it's the same exact handguard that you find on the Recon. It has full Picatinny on top. It has the Picatinny on the front sides, as well as the Picatinny on the bottom. And then you have M-lock all the way down the bottom, and then again on both right and left sides of the handguard. From the main components, when you're talking about your lower receiver, your upper receiver, and your handguard, it has the exact same components as our Recon. What we did in order to help with that, and it uses, again, even the same clamping system. So this is our barrel nut, right? That same clamping system that's used here with the tip. You know, this has right here, you can see it's got the gold, the brass tip to it. That goes through. The clamp goes up into the barrel nut and actually helps, again, force that through. It has the same anti-rotation pin that the Recon has. There's that little hole right there. There's a hole in the upper receiver. Those two have a pin that matches up between them and basically prevents the handguard from being able to shift left or right while you're holding it and shooting it. So that's what you call your anti-rotation pin. One of the things that we did take down is, so here we have our barrel. So the barrel in this case is not dimpled. It's a slightly different contour than the Recon barrel. It is black nitrided, so you basically get a complete black nitrided barrel here. It is still 223, so it still shoots the 223 wilds, which gives you both 223 and 5.56. So that'll remain the same. Just a slightly less expensive barrel, which helped us reduce the cost of the overall rifle. So that's what you have here for your barrel. One of the other things we did is that, we used instead of on the Recon, you get a muzzle brake. On the BR1s, you're getting the flash hider. So it's just a standard birdcage A1 flash hider that you get here. So that's what you're finding on the front of the barrel. You have our low pro gas block. So that's also found on this rifle. It is not a adjustable gas block, so that's another change that we made there. You have, let's just look at the trigger real quick. So you basically have, you can see here, so we basically went with a standard mil-spec trigger, although it's a higher, what I'll call a higher end. So we basically tried to get the best mil-spec trigger that we could get. So that is a component style trigger. Basically, which means that you have all the various components, right? I'm not going to pick them all up, but basically these are all the various components that go into it. It's set at 4.5 pounds. Still a very good trigger, very clean break for what you're getting on a mil-spec style trigger. That's just a component trigger. It is really, really nice from that standpoint. So we also use, instead of using the DLC bolt, we have this bolt here. This is just black nitride, so a little bit less expensive bolt than what we use in the Recon, but still an incredible bolt. Still using 9310 steel for the bolt itself. So the entire bolt carrier is a very well crafted bolt carrier group, particularly again for the price and the value that you're getting with this rifle. So you do have an ambidextrous charging handle, so the rifle still remains completely ambidextrous. This is actually the same component that you find on the Recon rifle. So you basically have, you can see there on both sides, you can use the ambidextrous charging handle. So some of the other things that did change though, it's a different safety selector. So you can see here the safety selector, right? So it's now at a 90 degree. We set the Recon to a 45 degree. Or 60 degree. So this has the full 90, right? It still is ambidextrous for the bolt. So if you have your bolt drawn back, you have this paddle right here, right? So that paddle, instead of having to come over to the left side and hit your drop for your bolt release, you can simply come over to here again and press this lever and it will drop the bolt. So again, ambidextrous safety, ambidextrous charging handle, ambidextrous bolt drop, all on this rifle. Comes with the same grip, so like we talked earlier in previous videos, we have a grip that kind of is in between a more sloped grip and the vertical grips that you see. This is kind of splitting the difference to give you the best capability in all of the various shooting positions. So that's the reason that we picked this particular angled grip. Was to give you the best combination of kind of prone, positional, seated, so forth, all the various positions. This grip gives you kind of meets all those demands on this. So again, same buttstock. You end up with 4 QD connectors, 1, 2, and then 3, 4 on the stock. You still have the 1 QD connector right here at the back end. And then you have the 2 that are found on the handguard. So there's 1 right here, and then again on the other side. So that brings you for a total of 7 QD mounts locations on the rifle. So overall, the BR1 was basically, you can see most of the components of the Recon have remained the same. Where we made some adjustments were some things that we found that we could make some minor tweaks to a rifle. Again, trying to still deliver that high-end value, but really making sure that the rifle stayed a quality piece, still gives you all the ambi selection and so forth, still a billet upper and lower receiver set that you really don't find on a rifle of this caliber. You don't see that you're going to find that value getting delivered for a rifle like this. So overall, it's just a phenomenal rifle. Again, it's limited in selection from a color standpoint, but as long as you're good with black or FDE, it's definitely a rifle you want to go check out.